Okay, it's 8:12. I would like to call the Baldwin City Council meeting for October 7th to order, please. If you will rise and join me for the invocation and pledge. Father God, thank you for being with us today. Please bless all of our citizens. Cover them in protection, good health, and please bless our first responders always and be with us tonight as we make decisions for the city, for the council. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item is our consent agenda. If you were listening to the work session, we've been through all of these items together. And I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Sorry, before I do that, Ms. Woodmaster, do we also need to make a motion about unallocating the money for the solid?
No, that's how it was presented.
That's how it was presented. Okay, thank you. So I have a motion from Councilwoman Venter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Public comments. If there are any Baldwin residents who have business with the council, please move forward, state your name and address.
Of course. Everybody should know me by now. I'm Sheena Chambers at 574 Walden Street. I know I have 3 minutes, so first of all, I want to say I was speaking with Alice Ventura about my water bill. I never got anything from y'all, never heard anything from y'all. Nothing about the money that y'all stole from me, the $5,373. So I did find out that Baldwin is corrupt that way because I know what corrupt means. It means that calls to act dishonesty in return for money or personal gain. So I know that Baldwin is corrupt, and that's why my attorney, Lauren Anderson, is going to help me prove it. But besides that...
Do you know that we've made a decision?
Yes, but it's I know that people say credit is this, credit is that. But what about the money? I mean, my husband died a veteran, 25 years in the military, wondering why Baldwin would steal from somebody that's never stole in their life, who served their country. But of course, it's Baldwin. We know Baldwin. I've lived here 64 years. It ain't going to change. They're going to steal from now, 2030, 2040. They'll still steal.
Ms. Chambers, I take umbrage at this. We have been trying to deal in good faith with this situation. When we found out not only you were affected, there were 4 other families affected. So for a total of 5 families, and that money is getting returned to each of the people. We've spent hours looking for the documentation that started all of this, which predated all of us. But we're happy to help solve the situation.
So what I will get will be written in stone. I need it written in stone by an attorney, notary. I need it written in stone. It don't matter who gets in the office. They can't come up and say, oh, that's not our agreement. We didn't do that. No, I want it written in stone that I will receive the money that y'all took from me illegally. And second of all, the flowers on Willingham. I complained about them. They trimmed them. They're 4.5 foot high now. Some of them's 5 foot high. There was almost a wreck this morning with my little grandson and granddaughter in the car. I figured, well, if they hit you, sue Baldwin. But they don't got no money anyway. I'm going home tonight. I got my weed eater in my truck. I'm going to cut all the flowers down. You're not going to do it. This Public Works ain't going to do it.
We might as well cut them down. We tried to do something nice. To hell with it, though.
No, it's nice. It is. But to cause an accident?
Ms. Woodmaster, have some of them been addressed?
I mean, to cause an accident?
We cut them back after the last request.
After the last time I complained, they cut them back. You think they've touched them since then? So I got to complain again. Is that what it's going to have to be? I have to complain about the flowers?
Anything nice like plant flowers.
It doesn't matter. It's
Doesn't
3
matter if you
foot.
do Something nice like plant flowers or set off fireworks.
Yeah, you plant flowers. You can. Flowers this high, and you come down the road. Years ago in Alto, there was flowers planted. This little boy on a bicycle went out the road. Car hit him, killed him dead. And you know why? The flowers. City of Alto lost thousands of dollars because they got sued because they didn't cut their flowers down. Because you got to be able to see.
We'll just leave it
You've got to be able to see, I mean, the city workers ain't gonna cut them down.
Okay, Ms. Woodmaster, can you have Scott address this tomorrow, please?
I mean,
Cut 'em down, they
Okay.
don't-
and you call over there and you tell Cindy,
No, ma'am.
It never
If you
gets
have-
there.
If you have something to say about Cindy, you can tell me privately, but we're not talking about staff.
no, I'm talking about complaining about calling them and telling them, hey, will you please report this I need done, right? I asked them nicely. Yeah, we'll get it done. Do they get it done?
Okay, and it was done once,
When I done it,
okay,
you done it.
Okay.
Help me. You're the one that helped me.
She said Scott cut them down.
He did.
Okay.
That was what, over a month and a half ago? They've grown back, but nobody pays attention to them.
So, but we can agree that the intent behind planting the flowers is to try to beautify. our
It's
city.
beautiful.
But, and I will say that like, who expected them to get that high?
But
I
Scott
didn't get
told
these
me,
to grow that high.
he said we can allow them to get 3 foot high, but no higher. But what does he do? He don't come out and check them, and some of them's 4.5 and 5 foot high.
Well, if you cut 'em, they don't bloom, so what's the point of having them? It's
Okay.
just weeds if you don't have blooms on them.
They got blooms on, they're beautiful.
Right, because they're the
Okay.
right height.
All right,
To
so we've
bloom.
already determined
Well, they need to
that
plant
we're
some
going to
shorter
address
ones that don't
this
grow that
tomorrow.
high.
Yeah.
And Ms. Chambers' other
No, they
request
wouldn't
was
be
that
quite
there was
big,
some
nice.
formal
That should be
contract
on.
or notice about, and again, that should go to all 5 families, not just to her. But we can address that formally. Yes, Mr. Tomasello, we can address that formally.
So when I get the letter, that's not an agreement that I've made until I get my attorney to look over it and make sure it's signed and notarized, right? Because I won't agree to it.
We're telling you how we're gonna give you the money back.
Well, originally it was gonna be a letter, but if you guys are interested in engaging in a contract, we have to discuss.
It's gotta be a
No,
contract.
I need a letter.
I want a contract. I want proof. Because I know how,
Cost legal fees.
yeah, but I mean, I'm sorry, $5,373 you took from me. That ain't nothing.
Right,
That
we're
ain't
offering-
nothing?
We're offering you something in writing.
No, I won't
Ma'am,
prove-
It's gonna
okay,
cost us
we're
more
we're
money.
at time, thank you, we're
You're at time because you changed your mind
letter-
too quick.
Okay, we're at
You wanna
time,
be reimbursed or not, stop acting a fool.
okay, thank you, I
Let
need
me tell you
order,
something.
I
You are a
need
councilman?
order in here.
Listen, that's right. He's the councilman of the city of Baldwin. You know what that
Chief,
means? He
Chief.
needs out.
Can we address this, please?
Now, I'm tired of you hollering at people that are trying to help you.
Councilman Key, thank you. Okay, so the two items that she addressed, we will deal with. Okay, thank you. If there are any other Baldwin residents who have business with the city, please come forward, state your name and address for the record.
Doug Faust, 128 Lake Ridge Trail. This kind of had a question. There was discussion during the zoning earlier about the minimum size of what could be built. And then there was a observation that the county was at the 650 square foot level, and we're proposing 600?
800.
800,
800, okay. All right, thank you. That's the clarification I needed. Thanks.
thank you. If there are other Baldwin residents who have business with the city, please come forward. Seeing none, please don't take no mic. All right, moving on, there are no public hearings, reports. Police Department, Chief Jones has stepped out. We
can come back. We can go, no, it's okay, we can come back.
We can
Yeah.
come back to it, thank you. All right, we are going to, because Chief Jones has stepped out on city business, we are gonna move to new business. Consideration approval, the first reading of in-town home builders setback variance ordinance number 2025-10175Z. Ms. Woodmaster? Do
It's,
we have something?
yeah, it's on page 3 of your packet. We discussed it in the work session.
Okay, we can just, okay.
Unless pizza's coming, then I'm ready to stay.
Okay, let me read the bold part to be official. An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of Baldwin, Georgia by granting variances to 3 parcels of land within the city of Baldwin, Georgia, and owned by Jordan Ferguson, and being lots 1, 3, and 8 of Highland Point subdivision of Habersham County, Georgia, and being more particularly described on plats which are attached hereto, and which are incorporated by reference into this ordinance, and providing that the zoning classification upon said property shall be subject to certain variances, repealing conflicting ordinances to the extent of the conflict, to provide for severability, to provide for an effective date, and for other purposes. Can I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2025-10175Z?
So moved.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Venter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilman Keith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, we will move to new business item 2, consideration approval of first reading of zoning ordinance amendment number 2025-101. Did I read the wrong thing? No, 76.
Before we read it, we noticed in between the meetings, that the agricultural district is left off of that ordinance on page 57. So it says requirements for R1 district, R2 district, and R3 district. It does not say agricultural. So we are proposing to
Here?
add that. Yes, we're proposing to add, before that R1, the agricultural district.
Or,
Boy, that don't even look like 57, does it? I'm pretending that I can see. Oh, yeah, right. Thanks.
then I can't see.
I know, right?
All right.
You gotta read.
Ordinance number 2025-10176Z. We will read it as amended. An ordinance of the City of Baldwin, Georgia to amend section 800, minimum floor area requirements, Article 8 of the 2006 zoning ordinance to make the minimum square footage requirements for agricultural district, R1 district, R2 district, each 3-bedroom or larger duplex dwelling unit in the R3 district, and each 3-bedroom or larger attached dwelling unit in the R3 district square feet. Can I have a motion to approve zoning ordinance amendment number 2025-10176Z as presented? I have a motion from Councilman Venter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilwoman Davis. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, Chief has returned.
You missing any limbs?
Do you want me, can I just finish this and then
Oh,
we'll just
yes,
move into
I
your, or
prefer
we'll just
that.
finish this
That's
section?
fine.
Consideration approval, first reading of Bellamy zoning change ordinance number 2025-10177Z. Again, we addressed this in work session.
I put on there, it was page 60, but it's page 80 that the actual ordinance is on.
Thank you.
Page 60 is the application. My apologies.
We only filled about 50 days for this.
I know, right?
Well, at least it was all in one packet. Okay, in ordinance number 2025-10177Z, an ordinance amending the zoning map of the City of Baldwin, Georgia by zoning all those tracts or parcels of land owned by Andrew Bellamy and Casey Coker and being 1.00 acres, more or less, being tax map parcel 091D 021 and lying and being in land lot 184 of the 10th Land District of Habersham County, Georgia, and being more particularly described on a deed or plat which is attached hereto, and which is incorporated by reference into this ordinance from residential single-family district R2 to highway business HB without conditions, repealing conflicting ordinances, to provide for severability, to provide for an effective date, and for other purposes.
So moved.
Oh, let me ask for the motion.
I'm excited about that one, sorry.
Can I have a motion to approve the first reading of the Bellamy zoning change ordinance, Ms. Venter?
Yes.
I have a motion from Councilwoman Venter. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilman Keith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, moving back, Police Department report, Chief Jones.
Good evening again.
Good evening.
So, this activity report is what I call it. I send this monthly to Emily and Aaron. So, for my current report, it will run from April of 2025 through September of 2025. So, do each of y'all have y'all's copy of this? All right. So, you will see calls for service. This comes from Habersham County Dispatch. I get an email each month that I send them. So this is legit numbers. You can go back. So for these past 6 months, the Baldwin Police Department has answered 3,713 calls. So that could be anything from a domestic to a motor vehicle accident to a traffic stop. So they send me all, and it's got a breakdown, and I do a total for each month. So calls of service, that is the bread and butter of police work. That is uniform patrol. That is, when we talk about customer service, that is what we're providing our citizens right there. So, I mean, that's a pretty significant number for a department that's got 9 full-time officers. And I was pretty impressed with that number. So, when we move down, we've talked about this many times before. We look at security checks. So, during the daytime, as most all the citizens will say, they've seen us, we ride the neighborhoods during the daytime, and at nighttime we check businesses. That is what we do. I demand that of our officers. So for the past 6 months, there has been 12,204 business checks, security checks, and neighborhood checks. I don't have those broke up into each one. They're all together in one lump sum as security checks. Below that, you will see security checks year to date, and this would be back to January 1st of 2025. There was 17,641 business checks, neighborhood checks, and extra patrols since that day. So in the last 6 months, there has been 162 reports generated. And when we say reports generated, that could be a motor vehicle accident report or an incident report. So, and that takes time. So each officer, that is an official document on our tracking system, SSI Interops. So that is an actual report. So moving on down, we look at patrol mileage. So in the last 6 months, we have patrolled 35,043 miles. So when we look at our vehicles, that is the lease program while we look forward to the future of replacing these vehicles. Like y'all have heard me mention before, patrol cars do not need to be used for more than 5 years. And we saw that tonight when you seen that bar graph that she hits, you seen the sharp increase. That's when we get the engine problems, the transmission, the big money items. So in a current vehicle like we've got now, if the transmission goes out and you don't have warranty, you could be looking at $10,000 plus by the time you pay for that transmission and labor. And that's significant. And that really eats into the budget. And one of the hardest items on the police department budget is vehicle maintenance. Me and Justin battle that one all the time. It's a constant battle. So the more current vehicles we have, the lower maintenance costs we will have, and the less downtime an officer has with transferring gear from one vehicle to another. A lot of people don't think about that. When a vehicle tears up and you have to transfer all your gear from one vehicle to another, and that's when mistakes are made as well. Gear gets lost, gear gets missed, something could get left in a vehicle while it's at the shop. And not to say that it would happen, but it could. A mechanic or a technician could find something in that vehicle. So there's a lot of liability in that.
Hey, Chief, the important thing, just because the enterprise stuff went to the topic of your own call, is when we went to the talk of the enterprise, is the few months before that, we spent either $13,000 or $14,000 in 3 months
Yeah.
repairing those 2014
Mhm.
and
Yeah, I remember that.
2017 patrol cars.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And now, of course, we still have brake, tire, oil change expenditures all the time, but we're not spending it all, our entire annual budget in 3 months like we
Yeah.
did that year.
Mhm.
That was wild. That's when we
Yes.
brought in the lease program. Yeah.
And the more time they're on the road, like those older ones, catalytic converters, you don't think
Yeah.
about that, that's an expensive item. So normally when that goes out, something else goes out. So it's just a chain reaction. So, but moving on through the report, so CID, that's our Criminal Investigative Division. So Investigator Bartholomew, and if you'll look, this says CID cases assigned in September 2025. That's not just September, that is for the 6 months. It's the way my line's laid out. No, we'd be hiring another investigator. He would be in a panic attack. Correct. So in the last 6 months, there's been 30 CID cases assigned, and a lot of these cases are of felony nature and of serious charges. So, and this is the one as a chief that I'm always looking at. We look at CID cases closed. And once again, that one says September 2025, but it's for the whole 6 months. Of those 30 assigned, we've got 18 that's been closed. And so, very good number, because when you have cases assigned, but you're not getting cases closed, what's your investigator really doing? So, you can go back and we're charging people, we're getting warrants, and that's a number, that's nearly a 2/3 ratio. We're more than 50%, so definitely a good sign. And when we go down to the next item, we've got CID follow-ups. So in the world of investigations, that is every time they talk to someone in reference to a case. And it might, so in the world of CID, a uniformed patrol officer normally gets called out initially. They will come out, they will take the call and do an initial report. Myself or Justin or one of the corporals will assign that case to CID. Once it gets assigned to CID, they're having to read a report based on an incident that they were not at the scene. So now they've got to start building their case, so they have to do follow-ups. And follow-ups, as Justin, he works CID, it takes hours. So a lot of time. So he performed 134 follow-ups in those 6 months. So once again, we can see that justifies why we need an investigator in this department. Moving on down, always a big one. We talk about cleaning up our city, making it a better place for our citizens to live. We had 17 drug arrests in those 6 months. So I'm pretty happy with that number. I would always like to see more, but if I see more, that tells me there's more drugs out there. So it's a double-edged sword right there that we have to look at. Canine deployments. So I know a lot of people ask, why do y'all have canines? That's a very good one. And we had 43 canine deployments in the past 6 months, and not all of them's here in Baldwin.
Yes.
Some of those are assisting other cities, but there again, that's what bonds our relationship with these other agencies. We had a very good canine deployment a few weeks ago in Cornelia. You had a burglary suspect enter a building and a business, and Corporal Rose and Canine Hulk went in, done everything perfect, and he did apprehend the subject.
Right.
So they got a dangerous criminal. I mean, that's a felony offense.
That's right.
So, and Cornelia Chief personally called. You know, he was very thankful in that situation.
Many hands make light work, right?
That's it.
That's right.
That's it. So
Yeah.
that shows you 43 deployments. Every time that deployment happens, Corporal Groves or Captain Ferguson has to do a report. There is paperwork that documents every one of those. So it's not, a lot of people think it's all fun and games getting the dog out. After you put the dog back in the car, a report's got to be done.
Yeah.
So, and moving down to maintenance. So I've got no current projects at this point because our vehicles, we're in pretty good shape, but we do still have two 2017 Explorers. One of those is being used by SRO Davenport until the sheriff's office gets their new vehicles, at which time they're going to donate us a Tahoe.
Nice.
Yes, free of charge. So they're going to donate that to us.
That's great.
And at that point, me and Emily have discussed the 2017 Explorers might be something that we trade in to Enterprise or whoever we're going to do our leasing program through. So I think that would be better than just selling them outright if
You
we
think
could
we
do the
get more
trade.
for them that way?
It's always a double-edged sword
Because
on that.
They're garbage.
The one's got a blown engine,
I wouldn't buy, right.
and the other one, I'm afraid to sell the one with the blown engine when we're still driving the other one, because I can use parts from the blown engine one
Thank
to
you.
keep the other one running
Right.
until we get that one,
Yeah.
until we get the Tahoe. So, moving on down, so capital projects and needs, the 2 patrol vehicles, that was the 2 trucks that myself and Justin got, so those are items that we have got completed, so those are done. And active project status, so this is the one that I'm very excited to mention this. So, we've talked about the budget, we've talked about saving the citizens money, getting that number down. So, Baldwin Police Department has always gotten our fuel from convenience stores within the city. We've used a WEX fuel card system that's been for several years, Emily. And through WEX, they do knock some of the tax off of the fuel, but it's not astronomical. So, with the Board of Education providing us with 100% financing for an SRO, I reached out to the superintendent. They have a fuel depot at Will Banks Middle School at the bus shop. They are willing to sign a contract with us to sell us fuel at a highly reduced rate at what the county gets it. So our officers would be able to travel approximately 5 minutes out of the city, up 365, get fuel at that depot, and be back in the city if they did get a call. This wasn't possible years ago because the fuel depot for the county is in Clarksville near the fairgrounds. And that is entirely too far for our officers to have to go get fuel. So I feel getting this contract, it should be finished up. It wasn't able to be done tonight. I feel that that's a huge step for the city, and it shows that we are trying to reduce the cost. We're doing our part. So, does anybody have any questions on that?
Great, thank you for looking into that.
So, and then moving along, we look at future project and needs. And if anybody's been around me any amount of time, they know that I want a firearms range. So, that's like a future project, needs, wish. So,
Well, it's not just you want it, I mean, we need it.
we need it.
We need it, I mean, the
Yes.
relationship with Tacoma has changed, and, I mean,
So we used Cornelia's range. I did get us permission to use Lacey, Lee Arundel Correctional Institute's range. So they granted me permission to use that range. But if we have our range, we can set it up how we need it. We have direct control, and I don't have to change our schedule based on another department's range.
Because it's scheduling conflicts that
Oh,
really are quite
very
challenging.
much
It's not
so.
that they don't want to share with us, but.
It
Yeah.
is.
And then, so that, we don't pay anything to use the other facilities.
That's correct. We don't
So I
pay.
think, again, many hands make light work, so I would imagine that other agencies may
So
be able to participate and use ours.
hopefully so. We'd be very selective on that, so at who we would let come. But so myself and Captain Ferguson, we're both firearms instructors. I'm very, very passionate about my firearms instruction.
Yes.
So eventually we want to get some different certifications of a higher level. And if we do that, we can host those classes at our range and charge other agencies or officers to come to our training. And when we do that, we can't do it on someone else's range. That
Right.
would not be proper.
Yeah. Perishable skill, gotta keep it up.
so you'd be looking for, indoor, outdoor.
Most likely, outdoor. I would love indoor, but an indoor is a lot more money because we have to have a proper backstop. Then we have to have lead ventilation because you will get lead poisoning if you're in the range any amount of time. And if you stay in there too much, you actually have to go get lead tested.
I did not.
Get a
know
blood test for that. So,
Okay, so step one is an outdoor range.
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. I would like to have an outdoor range of up to 100 yards. And I would like to have our own training building on site there, not separate. It needs to be there. And then we can also get
that.
some
Oh,
vehicles.
Okay.
Mhm. So it needs to be there. That way we can teach the class. We have an inside facility for the PowerPoints, and we can move outside for the instructionals.
Then you got the citizen classes again too, which we right now. because
Right,
Obviously,
which would be so
Somebody
good
else.
to have.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And that's been a
Because-
massive success for the Raven Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
As a citizen class.
Cause it's so hard,
Most
like,
of the training directors go.
if we do a citizen class at another city's range,
Mhm.
they're not gonna let us do that because you open up the door for liability.
Yeah, and I don't blame them, yeah.
Mhm. So I would be the same way.
A lot of people just, get a weapon and they're like, okay, I'm gonna protect myself.
They just hope for the best.
You shoot yourself in the leg,
And
so, yeah.
so I've seen a lot of people, citizens buy firearms for protection,
Yes,
and they'll have it all loaded up. They don't have a round in the chamber. They don't know.
yeah.
And I've asked them, have you ever shot it? No. So you do not know if this thing is function tested. You do not know that it will fire a round because you've never fired a round. And that's a problem, and that way you can get the citizens out there. We can at least go out there, have them shoot it, we can look at it, function test it, is it safe? Because number one, we don't want them to get hurt,
Yeah.
but we don't want them to put their life on the line, pull out a weapon and it not work,
Yeah.
so.
Chief, can you also mention this top priority, implement a fitness program?
The fitness program, so that is something, we do that at the range. So the last time we went for firearms, I have 2 drills that I've made up. And one of them consists of carrying 80-pound sandbags and implemented with our shooting. So you have to travel from the 50 down to the 7, shoot some rounds, carry that 80-pound sandbag back, then you proceed back down to the 7, you shoot some more rounds, and then you have to carry another 80-pound sandbag. But I do change that up for officers that can't carry. An 80-pound sandbag, Captain Ferguson will tell you, is not easy to carry. It's
Nope.
very awkward.
Like a bag of concrete.
But it's like a person if you had to get them out. But I will lighten the load up. If the officer feels that they might hurt themselves, I will implement a 35-pound and a 53-pound kettlebell. And they can do that for an officer.
He found the most awkward sandbags he could possibly find.
Oh, it's a challenge. So that's part of the program.
It's weakness leaving the body.
Mhm.
It's
And-
not pain, it's just trying to hold on.
Yeah.
Walk the shape.
And then we have, I have another drill that we do where we actually implement a little bit of running. We come from the car, you shoot the rifle at the 50. Rifle runs right, we go down to the 7. We shoot at a set of targets, then we move to another set of targets. You finish off with your pistol on both of those. When it runs dry, then we put a tourniquet on to simulate that you've took a round of arm. So Justin's our medical instructor, so as far as why would you give someone a tourniquet if they've never put one on? And why not do it in a stressful situation as well? So that's what we do at the range. So, and I'm also a huge proponent for our officers going to the gym as well. So moving along, so our announcements. So I was very happy to announce our officers. I had everything laid out to do that at the grand finale, but we already got that done. The little one was getting antsy, so we've got 3 great officers there. So very proud of that.
Chief, you have a great department.
Oh, everybody I've got, we're blessed with our department.
It's good leadership. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah. And one last thing. So as we were sitting here and we talked about enterprise, I was actually texting the sheriff directly. So
Oh, good,
I found out some very important information on the vehicles.
good.
So at one point, myself and Justin was informed that they were leasing the vehicles through Ford. Well,
Right.
that's not the case.
No.
So then, we heard they were leasing the vehicles through South State Bank. Well, they're not actually leasing them. They're buying the vehicles outright, a 5-year loan at 2.99% interest. So
That's what it was.
so they are going to take, the first year's payment is not due for a year. So then they're gonna have to sell, they've got an astronomical amount of vehicles they have
Yeah.
to sell
Yeah.
that start at 150,000 miles, and some of them go in excess of 200,000 miles. So the sheriff's office is gonna have to sell those. So with that many vehicles, you probably have to have 1 or 2 people full-time selling those vehicles. So the equity's not built in as we've got, and then Enterprise helps us to trade in the vehicles when they reach the end of that lifespan. So the sheriff's office is gonna buy 30 up front, and they owe, he sent me I've actually got the numbers. So they give them a yearly payment of what the lease is going to do. And the first year, that payment being deferred a year, helped them with their budget that year. But the money's still gotta be paid. So at some point or another, you're gonna come, there's gonna be a payment there. So with Enterprise, we had payments starting initially. We didn't have anything deferred, but we knew exactly this is what we have. And that is another reason in my police department budget, this was mentioned in a department head meeting with Emily, we worked in a capital line item. And that is exactly what is in the police department budget. I've got a number in there per year that we budget for vehicles. That way, we're not having to go out and look for a loan every time. And then that 2.99% interest, what if that goes up to 5-7%? We don't know what it's gonna do.
Yeah,
So,
okay. And their first, I think their budget was like 420,000.
420.
420, okay, oh.
So they've got,
Okay,
so their
and
budget,
that's just that's the first payment?
so $420,000 gets them 6 vehicles. But they are so behind in good vehicles, they can't keep up.
Like we were,
So,
yeah,
perfect example.
yes,
So
yeah.
they're gonna finance, he said, $2.1 million to get 30. So they're gonna get 30 vehicles up front. And I know exactly why they're gonna do it, because they're like treading water right now.
Yeah.
They've got 26 vehicles with over 150,000 miles. Could you imagine, what if a transmission went out of 5 of those?
Wait,
You got $50,000 right there, easily.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
11 of those 26 have over 200,000 miles.
Okay.
So buying 6, he said they just couldn't keep up. So they're gonna get 30 now, then they'll do it again in 5 years. And they've budgeted 70,000 per car. So you know how the upfit, and you
I was
also,
gonna ask, is that with the upfit?
that's what they're saying, 70 with an upfit. That's tight. That's very tight. So, we may end up, I like the SUVs, but if it's a manner to help the citizens and whatever I can do to lower costs, we may have to go back to Dodge Chargers the next cycle to get the price down. It's not what I want to do,
They
but
also
if
weren't
it
available.
saves.
We tried, they weren't available
Yeah.
when we were.
Cause when we did this, when there was the whole like vehicle,
chips.
the
The
chips,
chips.
that's right. Plus,
Dodge
there was-
also told us at that point,
Mhm.
they were gonna continue making the Chargers, but they would be strictly EV.
Mhm.
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're not doing
Anymore.
EV, no,
And now
that's
they've
ridiculous.
completely
They've
reversed course,
reversed
they
it.
realized
Yeah.
nobody wants to do it.
Yeah, they realized they couldn't do away with them.
And
Not for
the reason we
pursuit.
got the Tahoes,
Yeah.
everybody says big fancy Tahoes,
Uh-huh.
the Tahoes were cheaper than the Durangos and the Explorers.
Mhm.
Now they're $10,000 more
Right,
now, but the 23 models were actually $500 and $100 less than the other.
that is the information that I need to have
When we go to get
Then
vehicles
replace them.
again, now that
good,
there's not a chip shortage, and when we got our Tahoes, Brannon Chevrolet Ford, that is the largest law enforcement vehicle provider in Georgia. They were only getting 350
Yes,
2023
that's what I was
Tahoes.
gonna say, yes.
And most all of those were spoke for, and we were able to get those 6 that we got. So,
It was the big fancy trucks.
Uh-huh.
This is most economical and
Okay.
feasible, plus it's
Right.
a pursuit of police vehicle.
And
So
also
this-
what they had, like we
Mhm.
needed vehicles,
Mhm.
and it was like,
So this
like
is
you
not
could
the
wait.
cookies and ice cream situation.
Mhm.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, people see a brand new, big fancy, or not fancy, but a black shiny SUV.
Oh.
So my thing
And they
was-
think
Their
it's-
money, that's
But
what
now
it
that the
is.
complaints, when the complaints come, now we're armed with the information, which is what the difference
Right.
is. Because, yeah, it's
They'll
like,
still
oh,
yell
y'all
about
have
it.
the best of everything, the best of the best, and I'm like, well, crap.
Oh, well, let's not
And-
complain about it.
and something else that I want to point out is, we talk about pursuit-ready vehicles. I will not allow any of my officers in a vehicle that's not pursuit-ready.
Yeah.
That is a liability. And I, as the chief, will not be in a non-pursuit ready vehicle because I still work shift. I still stop cars. So that is something we will not do. So at the time, we were told by Simone at Enterprise that we had to have an admin vehicle, and the admin vehicle didn't have unlimited mileage. So that's exactly what we were told back then, so.
Okay.
So the decision we made last November was a good decision, and the only thing in question regarding the cars right now is the admin vehicle, and if we want to maybe exchange it for something a little bit less expensive.
Yeah.
Is that
And to
right?
who? Who do you want that to belong to?
And who it would belong to. Very good, thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Very
Oh, you're
good.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for doing that follow-up.
Thank you.
Tell them we got Gardner back.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them we got Gardner
They
back.
got Gardner.
Oh, another, last announcement, great announcement. So Officer Gardner, Corporal Gardner, had resigned back at the, I think it was September 8th, if my memory serves right. He went to a federal agency, and Corporal Gardner was a great officer. We would like to clone him to get more like that. I mean, just great. Well, went to the federal agency, it did not work out as planned. Things weren't, as was told to him. So yesterday was his first day back.
Oh, wow.
So-
That's wonderful.
Okay, I was sort of sad hearing that,
Oh, yeah.
do we lose 2 officers to that
Um,
federal agency?
No, we lost one, but we've got, I will be honest, we've got one in the works that's looking at it now, so.
We've had 3 apply, 1 return, accepted return. We got another one that's still seriously interested, and then one that I think has pretty much decided against.
Yeah, okay.
Is the $50,000 signing bonus a real?
Well, so let me explain.
I mean, that's
I will
crazy.
give you the first-hand experience of what I was told by Gardner on that $50,000 sign-on bonus. To get that, you cannot work just the 5-day work week. You must work 6 days a week, and you have to give them 2 hours of overtime each day.
Each day.
Yes.
That sounds like when you work at NFL.
So you're not getting a
And it was,
sign-on
and it was
bonus?
split, and it was split over time.
Yeah, you're
Like you
on,
didn't get a 50,000 up front.
They
It was
split
like
it.
10,000 a year.
basically over 5 years.
Over 5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, are they poaching our guys or our guys experience?
I don't know that it was an
Ah.
intentional poaching, but it was,
When,
they were
Agents
in the
that
same
work in
place.
the area in passing.
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
They were in the
work
same
together.
place.
You know, our
And-
guys deal with them on occasion when they're up here. And
So-
of course, they're-
Gardner was told, he would be a field officer. So basically like a police officer, working north of Atlanta, north Alabama, North Georgia. So when he arrived at that agency, he was told, no, you will be a detention officer for 3 to 4 years.
That sounds like going to prison.
Mhm.
That does not sound nice at all. Wow.
So we're glad to have him back.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank
you very much.
Okay.
Okay, moving to announcements. Raffle tickets for the Top of the Hero gun raffle are available for purchase through Baldwin Fire and Police Departments. Tickets are $10 each, and the drawing will begin December 1st. If 10 tickets are purchased at once, the purchaser is entered into a bonus drawing. Justin, do you have tickets for tonight? Okay. The 8th annual City of Baldwin Fall Festival will be on October 18th from 12 to 8 p.m. at the Tap Yard at 110 Airport Road. Enjoy live music, local crafters and vendors, food trucks, and closing fireworks show. As always, admission and all activities are free thanks to generous sponsors and donations from local businesses and community partners.
Mayor, I don't mean to interrupt you, but one person's asking what the tap yard meant. It might be
Theron
helpful.
Ayers Park is the Tap Yard. It's the old farmer's market that was dedicated last year? Last year. To Councilman Theron Ayers, who's a veteran, longtime council person, longtime Baldwin resident, and general good guy. Has anybody seen Theron? Okay. Got it. Third item, house is located on the Fall Festival hayride route of Airport Road, Willow Tree Avenue, and Dilmas Court are invited to participate in a Halloween yard decoration contest. Votes will be cast by hayride passengers, and the winner will receive a $250 gift card. Text 470208 9842 to register. And last item, under announcements, City Hall will be closed Monday, October 13th for the federal holiday. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Oh, I'm sorry, are there any announcements from council, from staff? Okay, motion to adjourn, Councilman Venter, do I have a second? A second from Councilwoman Davis, all those in favor say aye.
Yep.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.